Happy Saturday. How's the weekend treating you? So far, so good over here. Too blessed to be stressed. Welcome into episode number 72 here of the Untitled Series. The Untitled Series here on United Spurs of America. Big up if you're here live, if you're here on playback. Big up yourself right now in the back, on the face, whatever you want to do. It's your groove. It's your weekend, baby. I want you to enjoy it. So do as you do. Hit that like, participate in the poll, hit the chat if you so inclined. If you're here on playback, leave a comment. I will respond. That is what we do here. There are some channels, looking at you, Hotspur Hippie, that they won't. But you know what? That's okay. Some people get too big time. They forget about the people who comment. Some people stay grounded like a kangaroo's feet to the earth. You know what I mean? But we have the most beautiful guest. One of, if not the most. He. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's the best one from down under that I've met, virtually at least. Can't wait till I get to meet the lad in person. But he'll be joining us in just a second. But yes, it is the stream number 5 of my protest. I'm protesting international break, and by doing so, I am wearing the ANGE ball shirt. I'm still wearing it, y'all. I do take it off in between shows, so I do shower in between shows as well. So I know Kate's probably in the chat right now saying Soap Dodger, this, that, and the other. But you know what I'll say? I miss me some ANGE ball. I need me some ANGE POSTECOGLOU. I'm craving it. He gets another award. Manager of the Month, number 2. Put it in the Louvre. Is that what they say? Hang it in the Louvre. In the Louvre. I don't know what it says. But anyway, maybe our guest does. Hit that like on your way in if you don't mind. And if you're feeling fine. Or don't. It's your freedom of choice. And we respect that here of United Spurs of America. So without further ado, let me bring in the one and only. What's up, Paul?
Hey, man, how you going?
Good. How you doing? Good to have you in the house as always. Happy.
You see, what's going to happen when you get like 100,000 subscribers and every video you do gets like 500 comments? You're still going to be replying? No, you're going to big time people at some point. So I'm just doing it now.
You big timing them hey, I like it. You keep the same energy and you keep it. I like it. I respect it, Paul.
In a couple of years, they'll be, oh, Jacob used to reply to comments, but now he's like driving around in a Mercedes Benz. You've got time to comment to the little people.
I would say if I were to ever make an amount of money to afford a Mercedes-Benz, I would not be purchasing a Mercedes-Benz. I'll put it that way. Okay, just so you have it. Real quick, I think your microphone sounds a little funny. It sounds a little underwater. You want to come out and come back in? We can do that real quick. No worries. I'll say what's up to the chat while Paul fixes his internet. But don't worry. We do have Paul in the house, so it's going to be a good time. Big up Milton Nobrega. Got the first place prize for you today, buddy. Says, good afternoon, Jacob, everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's well and have a great weekend. Big up Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs. Hashtag Jim in, Kate out. Hi, Jacob and Chewy. Hope the family's well. Well, Chewy, he had a little pee-pee accident before the show, so I had to put him on the patio. Had a little pee-pee accident. Made a little pee-pee in his bed, but that's okay. He's not in trouble. I didn't beat the dog. I'm just letting him sit out there on the patio. Hello. Talk to me.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. It's a little weird. Like, it sounds like your phone's in a cup or something. But maybe that's just me.
Give me a few minutes. I'll reboot my phone. That's the next thing. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay. Well, I'll take him any way he can bring him. So either way, when he comes back, we'll go ahead and just keep it rolling because we got some things to talk about, obviously. Big up Kim Reuter says, hi, boss, light years away, South Africa, but bleeding Spurs since 50 years ago. My favorite Spurs get-together spot right here, unashamed and proud. Big up, Kim. Kim, please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm missaying your name. But please correct me if I'm wrong. But big up. Great to see someone tuning in from around the world. That's really cool. The fact that this is being listened to in South Africa, big up. That is absolutely tremendous. I know my number one traffic source is the UK, and then it's Australia, and then it's US, and then I can't remember who's after that. But hey, big up, South Africa, stand up. Appreciate y'all in the house. 50 years of supporting Spurs. Wow. So you've seen some of the success. I wonder how you're feeling. Please let me know how you were feeling about Spurs at this juncture right now, because every Spurs fan that I've talked to that's been a fan about as long as you have, they are feeling the Ainge Postecoglou vibes being immaculate. And I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case for you as well. But big up. Glad to see you're here. Psychedelic Shallon's in the house. Is big up Jacob. Have a good stream. Big up Psychedelic Shallon every single time. Archibald says, hi, dude. Saw you on This Is Football. Don't know how you do it. Wanted to back you up, but I had to leave as I would have been blocked. Real quick, I do want to say big shout out to Hussam. I do. Some people do say that about that channel specifically. It's a different flavor for some people, but you know, I just wanted to show I'm multifaceted. I don't just swim in one pool, which is the Immaculate Vibes pool, but that's how I like to keep it here on the channel. Not too much arguing, shouting, like why we want to do that. You can get that on other channels like This Is Football with Hussam. Shout him out. I appreciate him inviting me on. Always a pleasure to go speak over there. Donovan says, day 367 of the international break. My skin itches and it looks like walls need another coat of paint. Donovan, hang in there, my friend. We still got over a week of this. We've barely just begun. And it's actually, I don't enjoy the fact of that, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm losing my mind here. As you can see, this is the same shirt. I'm going to stream every show I do until Spurs are back. I'm going to stream in this shirt. How are you protesting? How are we all getting by? We all got to find the little things that help get us by in these moments, right? Big up Kate. There she is. She says, hashtag Chewy in and Jacob out. Well, here's the thing, Kate. Chewy's actually out. I kicked his ass out on the patio. He was pee-peeing everywhere. Elvis G, good night. All Ainge just needs to win the next 8th monthly awards and we'll win the league. Elvis G, this is a great way to put it. 2 out of 2 down. 8 more to go. We're 20% there. Let's just keep it rolling. Adrian Stroka, big up Adrian Stroka. Good to see you in the chat. Jesus, can't speak. Big up Spurs Psych says, hey Jacob in the chat. Nice to have some company on a very boring night shift. Big up Spurs Psych. Hope you're getting through. I think you said you're in the UK, so good evening. It is late, but you know what? We'll have a good time while we're here. So appreciate you being here. Enjoy yourself. Try not to work too hard, but work just enough to where the boss man don't think you're not working. How about that? Big up, though. Hope you're doing well, Spurs Psych. Daniel Horton, Donovan. This comment right above it said Donovan, so sorry about that. Daniel Horton, I believe all the way in Alaska, the furthest north Spurs fan I think I know. Daniel Horton, here's a who, here's a Jacob. That was pretty bad. Even waiting for you. Big up from Fairbanks, top of the table. Hey, how's the view from up there? You're as far north as they come, and you were top of the table with us. Speaking of with us, we got Paul again.
How's it sound?
Perfect. Oh, it sounds magnifique.
It sounds so bad, isn't it? Why? Why did that happen?
You know what I think it is? Liverpool company has a hand in ownership of whomever made. Is it a Nokia? Whoever makes the phone, I'm going to say they're a Liverpool fan, and they're trying to keep you down. They're trying to silence you, Paul. So don't stand for it. You need to get up here and you need to speak the truth. Speaking of Hotspur Hippie, it's in the title. If you don't know Paul, if you're new to the channel, big up for being new. But go subscribe to the Hotspur Hippie every single time. But big up Daniel Horton. Daniel Horton, I believe, is in Alaska. I do know we have one fan out there all the way in Alaska. Fairbanks, I believe, is in Alaska, but don't quote me. Definitely don't quote me. Big up Psychedelic Shallon. Fire intro music. That is all my father-in-law. He made all the music for the show, so big him up. Nick Hansopoulos. There it is. Soap Dodger. Knew she called me. So, Paul, what do you think of my protest here? I'm not going to wear another shirt until my Ainge Postecoglou comes back home to me. It's like in high school they do the, give your girlfriend your jacket thing. I'm not saying I'm his girlfriend, but I'm just saying this shirt makes me feel closer to him when I wear it. And so until he returns back to me, I'm not going to wear another shirt on stream on this channel specifically until he returns. What do you think about that form of protest?
I think you've got FIFA worried. I think they're considering just getting rid of international football.
This is what it's about here. This is what it's about. She says soap dodger, but there's the thing. You can take the shirt off, wash yourself, and then put the dirty shirt back on. Because here's the thing. I want it to still smell like Ange when I wear it, you know?
Smell it. You want it to have the stench of protest. You don't, you know, what protest was ever won by everyone smelling like Yves Saint Laurent? You know, it's grimy, it's earthy.
Big up El Tel Cocarrel says, good evening, Jacob, and hello, Paul. Hope you're good. Everyone saying hello to Paul. Craig the Gecko Man, big up. How you doing? Big up Nick Brown as well. Rich, I grabbed a free beer. Big up. Big up, Rich, for grabbing that free beer, my friend. Zapur says, day 5 of Stinky Jakey Boy. Again, I'm not dodging the soap. I'm just dodging a new shirt. I'm keeping it one. I'm keeping the shirt. It's just, it makes me feel closer to Ange. That's what it is. Big bonus. We got Paul in the house. Absolutely. Everyone's saying hello to Paul. James says, when will the negativity end and start really supporting this great team of Tottenham Hotspur? Look, James, what I will say is I will never tell someone how they should support this club. What I would say is they're missing out if they want to feel a certain way about it, but they're completely justified in feeling. I would never tell someone how to be a fan of Tottenham, whether they want to look at it in the same sense that I do or different. They're all welcome here is what I say. But I know, just coincidentally, Paul and I feel the same, that we're winning the league, right?
It's looking like it, isn't it, so far? I mean, the only information I've got to go on is the league table.
I love it, Paul. I love it, dude. Let's go for a treble manager and player of the month. Could you imagine next month we win another player? James Madison wins it again and Ainge wins it again, and we're still undefeated in a month time.
Well,
is it? Can we then say we're in a title challenge?
I think like the Premier League painting themselves into a bit of a corner by giving it to Ange in the first month, because he's only going to get better. It's not like he's going to go off the boil or anything, so they're just going to have to give it to him every damn month now.
Zapur, big up, says, question, did you know exactly what damaged at the stadium? I heard it was Jurgen Klopp. He hired some goons to go over there and smash up the place. He said, if you don't replay this in the back alley by midnight on October 13th, that we're going to go smash up the place. And since we laughed at the letter that they sent, Jurgen Klopp sent some goonies. That's my official alleging. That's what I'm alleging. You know how like outlets can say, I believe this is what this is my theory on the... Apparently, they've already arrested the person, and they were throwing bricks at the stadium. So, whoever it was, they were throwing bricks. 23rd of November, Monday Night Football. I don't know. What's the 23rd of November? What's going on? That's So High School. What is? Big up J. Co's in the house.
You have the same affliction as me. You sort of, if a comment refers to something you said 5 minutes ago, it's like,
what does that mean?
Did I say something? I don't know.
It's a great way to avoid getting called out for things that you say. You're just like,
yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah. Being clean, then putting on a dirty shirt. Yep, that's what's happening. Isn't Korea, or at least Asia, your 4th ranking audience? I think they are 4th or 5th. Korea is, I believe. Fairbanks is in Alaska, about 200 miles south of the Arctic Circle. I identify as the furthest north Spurs supporter, so I accept it. I will represent that as well here on the channel. Yeah, who's to say you're wrong? But let's get into it. Paul, first off, are you surprised that Ange Postecoglou got the 2nd consecutive manager of the month?
No. I mean, I saw some Arsenal fans on Twitter getting all antsy, saying, "Oh, how could they possibly have given it to Postecoglou?" And they sort of showed Arsenal's games and Tottenham's games. It's like, look at the results, we're better. How can you say Arsenal and Arteta should have got it? Ridiculous. So no, we had a great run of results in September. Why wouldn't he get it?
You know, for me, Paul, it wasn't just the results. I think it's like the resiliency. When you look at the way we went and took care of business, and then if you also just look at it on a piece of paper, I think it screams Ange Postecoglou should absolutely win it. But when it comes to Heung-min Son, I think there was a lot of people that were really surprised by it. Being that this is a fan-voted thing, do you think it's just the pull power of Heung-min Son being nominated that got that many votes, or do you think that it was one of those things where the world has recognized the fact that yes, in fact, Son does deserve Player of the Month.
Well, when I went to vote, because I did, I couldn't determine or see what weighting the fans' votes are given, if any. Is it like 50% panel, 50% fans, or is it just in the event of a tie, we'll have a look at what the fans say, sort of thing? But you can't fault Sonny's performance. I mean, the 6 goals he scored, they were all full of composure and class and finesse. What other players done better than that this month? There isn't anyone, so you got to give it to Son.
Yeah, well, I think he was the best. I think I am biased. I'm very much biased when it comes. But you know what? At the end of the day, talk to me nicely. But it says here, Tottenham Hotspur have become the first club in Premier League history to win both Player and Manager of the Month awards for the first 2 months of a season. So the fact that the first 2 months, this has never happened before, unprecedented, one might say.
His first two months in the bloody Premier League.
And it's funny because
he's untested. He's only managed in Australia and Japan and Scotland. Maybe the Premier League will be a bit too hard. Oh, well, he was the best in August, the best in September. How do you like them apples?
You know what? I would love it if the month of October we remain unbeaten and we're still top of the if we win, bro, look how much they've been losing their minds. And by them, I mean rivals and the Spurs fans who want to see our downfall. Like, look at how much, like,
they can't compute it.
How quickly everyone is losing their minds about, because first it was who the hell's this guy? What right does he? This no name. What has he proven? He's an unproven loser. Is what they said. Where is he even won? That's anything. Technically, he's won everywhere he's gone, but it's like that was the narrative before the season started, and then now it's he's overrated and he's not even. And then there's other fans that are saying, oh well, I knew he would come here to this league and be good because I have followed him since he was managing Australia, and there was always. And it's just like there's so much.
I said that you taking the piss, mate.
No. I'm saying rival fans specifically. They're like, oh, I knew Ange before you ever heard of him. You know, for me, I always own the shirt that I wear, which is not literally, but the shirt that I'm wearing is the first time I ever heard the guy's name was from you, and I was like, Ange Postecoglou, and I was like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him, but big him up, and then the rest is history. And I'm completely fine not being the person to like unearth this gem, but I just find it interesting that the narrative around Ange Postecoglou was this, and then it's become this now that we're actually doing really well. So it's weird and it's interesting to me, quite frankly. But honestly, I love it because everyone's losing their shit, Paul. Everyone's like, oh, they shouldn't have been here, they shouldn't have done that, like this was lucky, that was lucky. And to me, I know it wasn't luck. I know it wasn't robbery at Liverpool. It wasn't this, that, and the other. For me, it was always, this is what we're supposed to be doing. When we just keep attacking, eventually something's going to break. And we've seen it throughout all these matches. Doesn't matter if you sit in a low block. Doesn't matter if you come meet us at the middle of the field. Doesn't matter if you allow us to dictate what we want to do or not. Like, we're going to play the way we want to play regardless. And just to see it paying off with results, seeing it paying off with these individual awards. It's funny though, Paul. I go on these other Big Six channels. No one says, no one respects the awards that Postecoglou, Madison, and Son have now won. No one respects it. But then whenever I ask him to name things about Declan Rice that he's done well, oh, he's had 2 man of the match performances, and it's like, or 3 man of the match performances, a game-winning goal, and I'm like, come on now, those awards matter, but best player of the month doesn't. It's interesting when it comes to Spurs. The awards that they hand out is a lot different than the awards they want to hand out.
Oh, when Spurs play someone decent, they'll get found out. You can't go playing attacking football. You're just going to concede too many goals. You're going to be vulnerable. Well, that didn't happen, did it? We played decent teams and we drew one, a moral victory, and we kicked Liverpool off the park. They lost all their composure. They lost their mettle. We were just better.
I like that. Sorry, I just received a text message. There will be another man joining us in just some a little bit of time. Big up Rich, big up Joe Hong is in the house. Big up Jacob Chewy and Paul. Big up y'all.
Ted Nugent. Is Ted Nugent coming on?
I know that one reference. I have an interesting story I'll tell you behind the scenes about that really famous song of his. It's not one that I'm comfortable sharing on air in front of the maybe potential thousand that will watch this, but Psychedelic Sean says, as a rival, I'm losing my mind in the salt pit.
Brilliant.
So I love it. Big up Psychedelic Sean, always showing some love here, but admitting it, and I like to see that. Kiam says, Kiyam. Big up Kiam Reuters. Kiam. After 50 years, I met Ange, and all the ghosts of Spurs managers past crept into this man and asked him to step forward. Unashamedly enjoy I am. Hey, they're enjoying. Go ahead.
Just on that note, Steve Perryman, his last podcast, he was talking about Ange, and he said I've forgotten the exact term he used, but he kind of, in essence, he said there are shades of Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw in Ange Postecoglou. Now, for Steve Perryman, I mean, it's fine me, I'm just some bum on a couch. But when Steve Perryman says it, I get very, very piqued and interested.
I wish that I could have that as a clip, because it's one of those, like you said, it's one of those things when, I mean, especially me, but you or any other person who's been a fan for like 50 years, 40, 60, these legacy fans, as I would like to call them. I don't know if that's what they're called, but people who've been a fan longer than I've been alive. I'll put it that way. To those people, I rate their opinions on where we're at as a club more than I would most other people, because I feel like if you've seen Tottenham have success, and now you've seen what I've seen, and now you're seeing what we're all seeing right now, then surely, but don't call me Shirley, that's got to validate some kind of like positive hope that I have as a fan when I look at it and say, oh, I think Spurs can accomplish X, Y, or Z. But maybe that's just me feeling too confident on my own team. I don't know. But what I do know is we have another guest joining us today. So without further ado, he asked for the link. And if he asketh, he shall receiveth. His name is Sean from Spurs Talk Show. He's bundled up. Is it cold out there, Shawnee? Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, guys.
What's cracking, my man?
I'm cold. How you guys doing?
Is the heater not on? What's going on over there?
No, it's not that cold. I'm just feeling cold. I feel like I might have a cold coming. I feel like I got my Spurs.
Hey, you're branded though. You're branded.
Oh,
that's what matters.
Look at the merch. Oh, the bling. It's out.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you happen to send me one of those, I would wear it on stream and promote your brand. I'm just saying.
All right. No,
he's got that Al Jazeera cash still rolling in.
Big up, Sean.
I was waiting for someone to mention that. With the delicacy of what's going on in the world right now. How do you feel about that you once upon a time spent some time on the channel? I'm not. That's the one thing at this juncture. I don't feel comfortable having any of that conversation close to the channel at this juncture. I got no idea what that whole situation is awful for everyone who's involved, everybody on both, like everything. The whole thing is absolutely terrible. And
what about Spurs, eh?
Yeah, but what's not terrible is we're top of the league, and Sleepy Mocha agrees with what I've been saying. Everyone's predicting 10th place because of us getting Ange Postecoglou in.
Wait, Jacob, have you heard about the real news tonight?
Manchester United and Qatar?
Oh, they're melting down, my man.
I know.
Man United fans are melting down. You know what? Like, for so long, they're like, no, it's just the We want the Glazers out. We want the Glazers gone. The Glazers are toxic. They're greedy. They're taking money. They're raping the club dry. The Glazers are going, bro. But you didn't get your sugar daddy, and now you're melting down. You're melting down.
What's happened, man? What's the news?
Well, now that we're talking about it, I'm shamelessly changing the name of the show. I'm adding Man United and Qatar off.
So
some clicks on that.
Oh, good to see you, mate. The Qataris have walked away from the bid.
Oh,
and so Jim Ratcliffe Jim Ratcliffe has finally landed. He's managed to squeeze himself in there with like a 25% ownership, and it's going to take 3 years with the promise of taking over a period of time.
Oh.
And so basically the Glaziers are not gone yet, but they're going, but it's going to take years. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, you know, one of their own, a Manchester-born richest billionaire in the UK. That's not enough for Man United fans. They didn't just want the Glaziers out. They wanted a sugar daddy in, and it just exposes them for greedy little shits that they are. All they wanted was the right to compete on uneven terms against everybody else. And you know what? Cry more, Man United fans, because you didn't really want Glaziers out. You wanted sugar daddy money.
Just wanted that.
What you want? That's what you really wanted, but you were never prepared to say that. But when it comes to it, that's what you're crying now. I've seen like Mark Goldbridge. I've seen all these big United fan channels. They're all going like, it's over. Manchester United is dead. We are finished as a club. Why? Because what? For the first time ever, you have to compete against people that have more money than you, like you've always had against everybody else. You are spoiled brats, and I love it. I love it. Welcome
it's interesting.
to the real world, Manchester United fans.
It's interesting, Sean. I was on Staffy TV. One of my friends, he's a shout out Staffy TV. He's a Manchester United fan. He said exactly what you just said. We're dead. He goes, you know, I think United we're dead.
Why
I think
we're dead. Why are you dead? Well, because you have to for a little while you have to compete like an also-ran, like every other football club in the world had to do versus you for 20 years. And then the other clubs came along with their sugar daddies, and the whole time you were like moaning about them, calling them cheats, calling it outrageous, and the whole time you just wanted to be one of them. And now you can't be one of them. You're screaming, but you didn't really want Glaziers out. You just wanted Sugar Daddy in, and now Sugar Daddy ain't coming. You're crying like a little bitch. Like, I love it, Jacob. I absolutely love it. Welcome to the real world, Man United. It's going to be a fun time drinking your tears for the next 3 years. And so Jim Ratcliffe is one of your own. He's one of your own. He's a Manchester United fan. He's a billionaire, but because he can't pay off your entire debt, because he can't like influx money out of the ground, black gold, because he can't bring that stuff to you immediately. You're crying. No, I'm sorry. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Paul, tell me you love it too, my man. Please tell me you love it.
Oh, well, they're a massive basket case at the moment, aren't they? You've got a manager who can't find a suit that fits him. He can't control the dressing room. The players are all over the place. And, yeah, they're going nowhere. And it is good to see. I love it because I want every other team that isn't Tottenham Hotspur to lose everything all the time. So to see this,
let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask this though, because the Qataris are not walking away, right? They want a slice. They wanted United because Sheikh Jassim is a Man United fan, so he's walked away. Let's assume that what's the news out today is true, and that so Jim Ratcliffe's going to get in instead. He's not going to go away. So he's either going to turn his attentions to another industry, another sports industry, but in my opinion, he's going to stay right here and he's going to come and have a conversation with other clubs. And Tottenham were a club that he previously apparently spoke to. West Ham is an interesting option for them. Liverpool is obviously another one. Would you guys want black oil money, sugar daddy money, Qatari money?
I will put it this way. I don't mind anything that's going to come to this club that's going to make us better. That's all I care about. If it's Levy that can do it, great. If it's someone else, great. And if everyone's fine, all I care about is the product on the pitch and everything that surrounds it, like the academy, the training, the stadium. Now, if I'm a United fan, I look at this.
We got all that already, right? All we need is someone to be able to inject money, but at what cost?
Yeah, if Joe Lewis sold his yacht and then put all that money into the first team, I'll be ecstatic. I think he's
not going to do that. He's already said there's no more money coming. No more money coming from the owners, from the current owners, into the football club.
Well, speaking of money coming in, I want to say big up Daniel Horton for the super chat. The furthest north Spurs fan in the globe, on the globe, I should say, says hit the like button. Spurs content live in the Western Hemisphere. Big up Daniel Horton. Appreciate that, my American brethren, my Northern American brethren as well. Way out there in Fairbanks or Fairfield, I can't remember, but it's out there. I don't know much about Alaska, but I know the fish is very good. It's the salmon. What's that?
He's up in Canada.
Well, it's Alaska. It's USA.
Oh, Alaska. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Alaska. That's out there. I had a friend named Ted, cinematography guy, and he came from Alaska. He used to shoot for the oil rigs out there, and he would still get shipped like frozen salmon from the area and tuna. And oh my God, it is some of the best fish I've ever had.
I'd love to go to Alaska. It'd be a cool place to go.
So I want
to see the polar bears. Did you get polar bears in Alaska?
I don't think that they are, but I could be wrong. Daniel, let us know.
Oh, Daniel.
But big up, appreciate you hitting us with the first super chat of the day. It says hit that like button. We are over 30 minutes. The question for today is, how do you feel about Ainge and Sonny winning the award? So far, 91% says deserved and earned, time for respect. 0% says that they're PR awards to gas up Spurs. And then 7% says these awards don't mean anything. And 2% should have been given to others. Well, 91% of the 55 votes say you are wrong. I see 55 votes. What's that?
The people have spoken.
The 55 people have spoken, and 91% say they were deserved and they were earned, and that's exactly how I feel. But big up everyone in the chat. I do, real quick, Sean, do you think that this has added pressure to Tottenham Hotspur, the fact that now Ainge has won Manager of the Month twice in a row, and 2 Tottenham players have won Player of the Month now 2 months in a row? Do you think that this adds more pressure to Ainge and what we're trying to do here? Does it kind of put the targets more on our back?
Oh, but the targets are on our back. The targets are on our back, bro. Like, other fans are so salty about Tottenham. I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. There's so many rival fans that are friends of mine whose channels I go on, and they hate Tottenham. My best friends growing up are Liverpool fans. They still text me today. They text me still going on about the Liverpool game. Like, I love it. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. Bring it on. Do I think that does it add more pressure to the players or the manager? Nah, I think that the players and the manager thrive with this stuff. I think it's a us against the world. I think Ange likes that us against the world kind of motif. From what I've gathered about him as a guy, he's always felt like he's the underdog, and he thrives under that scenario.
How much are you paying for an Ainge hug right now?
How much would I pay for an Ange hug?
Right now. He just walks in your room and says, hello, mate, and gets on over there and gives you an old...
How long's the hug?
35 seconds.
Ooh.
That's a good long hug.
That's almost a bit awkward. That's a little...
No, that's enough to change carbon dioxide with each other. I think that's enough to become friends, so...
I'd give a healthy donation to charity for an Ange hug, especially. I would.
Me too.
If he gave me like if it came with the hug, because the hug, if it's just like this and then it's like, because you're gonna have to breathe twice in that period.
Oh, that's two big huffs. Yeah,
two big deep breaths. I think it's a little bit weird, so it's gonna have to finish with some sort of like double tap on the back.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta,
just finish off, making sure that it's still manly and stuff. But then I think I'd give and if he gave me like 5 or 6 words of encouragement of something.
What if while y'all were hugging, okay, then he said, "Get in there, Shawnee boy, you can do it. It's all in your grasp of your hands, mate," and then y'all stop the hug. Paul, I know you're shaking your head at the accent. It was pretty bad.
It's the worst impression of an accent I've ever heard, in fact.
Hello, mate.
I think Bugsy Malone could have barked out an accent that was closer to Australian than what you just delivered, my man.
Good morning, David Shear. Good morning,
more like Al Capone than Ange Postecoglou.
Al Postecoglou.
Yeah.
So you were saying rivals hate us. I know that they hate us. I feel like they've always wanted any excuse to be upset with us, and they're kind of getting their excuse. I said, Paul, you were part of these shows whenever I was saying that I feel like the first 5 to 10 matches, we're really going to take the league by storm, and they're not going to have an answer for us. And then about 10 matches in is when now they're going to say, okay, I have 900 minutes of ANGE POSTECOGLOU ball. My assistants and I can figure out a way to best capitalize our players against this.
So better though. This is the thing that these rival fans don't get. They're saying everyone's guessing on Tottenham too soon. Everyone's like, oh, you know, the sample size is too small. It's 8 games. Yeah, guess what? In 8 games' time, we're going to be twice as good as we have been because there's the players that we're working with have got twice as much time on the training pitch to improve. We're going to get better, baby. Come on, Paul. Preach, bro. Preach, brother.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree, you know. And I kind of thought it'd be sort of the opposite to what you're saying, Jacob. I thought it would take a few games for the players to get used to playing this way. And in that time, that's why I wasn't keen on the fixture list when it came out, because there were too many easy teams in there. And I thought, if we're going to drop points, I'd rather drop points against some of the big clubs. But it didn't happen. But I thought once we got going, then there's no stopping us, because when you see an ANGE team get together and start winning, they don't stop winning. It's not like they have a bad run of form or something like that. And we've just started, and we're only going to get better. It's brilliant. You know, the players have yet to build up that kind of, you know, almost psychic understanding. You can see it's happening, and you can see the intent is there for it to happen. And now these awards are coming in. It's showing ANGE and the players that, well, what they're doing is working. They're getting the plaudits for it. So yeah, we're going to get better and better. Another 8 games in. I mean, when are people going to start talking? And I love that the other fans are just losing their shit.
I was on a few channels.
Honestly, God, guys, it's like this narrative that I'm seeing is like, I'll paraphrase it, but it's essentially, how dare Tottenham fans, the audacity of them.
They just don't want another mouth eating at the big boy table. And now that we're here, we're eating their food. They're like, hang on, this motherfucker was hungry. It's like, yeah, baby.
Manchester United fans, like Arsenal and Liverpool fans, don't look at Man United fans and don't go. When they were saying at the start of the season, when everyone was talking about Man United in the title challenge, they might come second this year. They might come second, especially if they get the Qataris. Like, when that didn't figure out, nobody turned around from the Arsenal camp, Liverpool camp, City camp, Chelsea camp, and said, well, you know, Man United is still going to improve. You know, there was none of that. Like, actually, what a ridiculous idea to think that Man United fans had the brass neck to think that they were going to be. But Tottenham, none of us have said anything. No Tottenham fan, no real Tottenham fan. I've said it in jest. Henry said it in jest. A few people have said it in jest to wind people up. But not most of us are keeping our feet firmly on the ground. And yet, these fans are like, the audacity of these Tottenham fans. How dare they think that they're part of our table? These are our trophies, our titles. How can they possibly think that they are worthy? And I'm like, keep talking, bro. Keep talking, because once our system sinks in, you're going to have 2 years before you catch up, because ain't nobody figured out how to play the double inverted. No one plays the double inverted fullback. No one does it. No one knows how to do it. When one of them's there, the other one's not. One of them's bombing up, the other one's hanging back. You don't know what you don't know. There's the unknown unknowns, and you guys are learning that very quickly with Tottenham Hotspur this year. And it's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing to see.
You know, for me, I've enjoyed the amount of disrespect and lack of plaudits that they want to give us, because for me, that bodes better for us, because I always say the longer they sleep, this is what I said before the North London Derby, I was confident going into the Emirates knowing we would at least get a point, if not win the damn thing. And we should have won the damn thing, in my opinion. But when I look at what's happened and I say, above all else, above the results, like the manner in which we go and win, like you were just saying, Sean, with these fullbacks, the way that we're playing with them, and then every now and then you just see Romero playing as a second striker. You don't know how to handle things that ain't been presented to you yet. And that's why I said the first 5-10 games, we're really going to take people by surprise in how we play, and they're not going to know how to game plan against us. But now that they're building up,
mate, is Pedro Porro. I think even Tottenham fans aren't really recognizing Pedro Porro. He's the third. I think he's the third best Tottenham player this season.
Dude, defensively, he's been absolutely immaculate. He's been progressively getting better.
Immaculate defensively. He gets forward he contributes. His stats don't register on a key pass metric or a shot creating action metric. He doesn't, because he's the guy before the guy who creates the pass that leads to the stat that's measurable. But if you actually, I go to most of the games now, and if you actually see how impactful and effectual he is at starting or being involved in the move just before the move becomes something, he's incredible. Destiny Udogie again. You look at SofaScore and you check out like the average ratings. Destiny Udogie is like 10th out of 14 players. His average rating is still high, but it looks like there's 9 or 10 players ahead of him. And same with Van der Ven. Van der Ven's score is artificially held low because of his own goals and stuff. But with Udogie, he's the guy who picked the pocket of the player that led to both goals against Sheffield United, one of the goals against Manchester United, one of the goals against Brentford, one of the goals at Arsenal, and one of the goals at... I'm not sure which one. Well, maybe it wasn't Fulham. It was somewhere else. But none of that stuff makes it onto the stat sheet because it's not the shot, it's not the assist, and it's not the key pass. It's the stuff that happens just before it. But if he doesn't pick that pocket, none of the things that happen after it happen, and it's not measurable in a statistic that carries algorithmic weight on these statistical websites. But Destiny Udogie and Pedro Porro are phenomenal, and anybody who's saying like combined 11s and they want to put Robertson on the left instead of Udogie, or they want to put anybody else on the right, Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie for me are the best fullbacks in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, that's why I call him Destiny Udogie actually on this channel. I was wanting to correct you, but Sean, we're gonna have to deduct points from you the more you say Udogie, because it's Udogie. That's how you pronounce it.
Oh, Udogie. Okay, Udogie.
Yeah. Okay. So anywhere you go, you can feel free to use it.
I'd like to deduct points from you because you're doing the American thing of turning a T into a D, and it's like water, a glass of water. It's water. So if we're gonna do Udogie, it should be Udogie.
Drink a glass of water.
Or should we not do it at all?
And you can't say mirror or horror.
Mirror?
Mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah,
Mirror.
I want to go to the movies and watch a horror movie.
Let's watch a horror movie. Yeah. Anyway, Psychedelic Shaolin, as a rival, Psychedelic Shaolin would pay £100 to get a hug from ANGE Postecoglu. And Rich says he's afraid that he would get a semi with a 35-second ANGE hug. Semi or tomato, right?
Ain't nobody ever said, don't hug me, I might get a semi. That's not how it works. It's don't hug me, I might get a semi.
Well, different strokes for different folks. I would like to think mine's as large as a semi truck, so I will get a semi. Yeah. But big up everybody in the chat. Big up Bobby K's here. Stephen Collins is here. Hello, how you doing? Spurs GCTV YouTube chat extraordinaires in the house. How you doing? Let's see here. I want to make sure I catch up on the chat and say hello. Lazy 8's in the house. Big up Lazy 8. Says agreed about Porro, unsung. Same can be said about Kulu, in my opinion. Let me throw it to you, Paul. Pedro Porro and Kulusevski. Where do you feel they're being ranked as far as Spurs fans do? Because people said I've been sleeping on Sean's been saying I'm sleeping on Kulusevski's impact. Everyone's been saying, and I said I conceded that last week while he had no goal and assist, which I've been begging for, like Oliver Twist for a second serving of soup. I have been saying, please, sir, can I have some more? I spared you the accent there, Paul, in the question, by the way.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Please, sir. Please, sir, can I have some more? Look, I've been complaining about him, but do you think these two players' impact has been kind of going under the radar with Spurs fans specifically? Not even talking about rivals, just
I don't know. I can speak for myself, and as well as Porro and Udogie being best in the Premier League, we've got a lot of players that I'd say were best in the Premier League. But to Kulu, look, I think he's been getting better and better, and something that I think that both him and Richarlison do really well is they just hassle the shit out of the other team. Kulu's running, and that might be one of the reasons why towards the end of games, we're getting the upper hand because the other team is just so knackered. So it's not that, Kulu has, been very probing or something at times, but he's part of the pressure. We're a real pressure team. Teams can't sleep for a second against us. And I think Kulu's a big part of that. He's getting better. That's all you can ask for. Improvement week on week. Like Son started off, got better and better and better. We're just all improving. It's great to see.
No, it's a really good point about the fact of these certain Pedro Porro. I've said since Man United was his first start, because Emerson Royale started versus Brentford, I think it was, and then he started versus United, and he had some very porous opportunities that United failed to capitalize on. But then the next match he had about half as many, and then the next match it was less, and then it became one. And now I think defensively he's a smart, young, athletic player who will take your girlfriend home and have sexual relations with her. Do not forget Felix, as he likes to be,
and will growl at you with all 44 teeth on show at the same time. It's a perfect.
You got a great video, didn't you, Sean, of at the away end at Luton whenever he was like, he got fired up about a corner, just like, and I just loved
you saw the canines, the incisors,
yes,
you saw the premolars, you saw the things right back here.
Girlfriend chompers, I call those.
And it was just a beautiful thing to see. The guy's got a brilliant orthodontist, or at least some point in his past.
Maybe he has Jurgen Klopp's veneer guy.
Shout out to Dr. Porro, whoever did that set of teeth work. It was fantastic. But yeah, look, you don't want him, eating your lunch, metaphorically and physically, when it comes to your girlfriend.
Yeah, I quiver at the thought of him ever meeting my wife. Just not that I think she would fall for him, but hey, he's a good-looking guy, a lot of El Pasión, but I think in relative terms of what we've seen, he's solidified the fact that there's no question he deserves to start. I think his defensive abilities as of late have been able to match what we could expect from an Emerson Royale. But then offensively, I always felt like what Pedro Porro offers you going forward with the passing, with the pace, with the ability to press as well and help Kulusevski on that side is that just outweighs any efficiencies that are things that Emerson Royale did better than him defensively. But I think at this point, we could all agree that defensively, he's been cleaning up the work a lot better. I think as him and Romero continue to understand more about each other and what they're going to do together, then the longer may it continue. But Pedro
just quickly, yeah. within him, there is people always say, and listen, I've held my hands up. I got him wrong because I said, he's not a right back. I think everybody said he wasn't a right back. And then most people then went, he's not a right back. He's probably better as a right winger, because they were trying to shoehorn him into a system that he didn't naturally fit. But actually the guy's learned how to play right back brilliantly, and if necessary can play right wing as well. But I actually am going to flip-flop so wildly from my pre-season appraisal of him, where I said, I just don't think the guy's a good fit. I think we bought him for a previous system that now doesn't work. I was so wrong, to the point where I actually now look at him and think, if Bissouma got injured or if Pape Sarr got injured, he could fit into the 8 or the 6 role. I think he's that adaptable. I genuinely think that he's that technically crafty that he could. And he plays as a midfielder.
I remember you asking that question. I remember you posing that question to me, I believe on your channel or someone else's channel, shout out whoever the fuck. And you posed this question that could Pedro Porro potentially be the backup, say if we lose a Sarr? Or I think it was do you think
I'd rather him sit in there if you had to shoehorn something. I'm that unimpressed with Ollie Skip. I watched Ollie Skip against Luton. He came on and he ran around at quarter pace, didn't do anything, and I realized now, like your opinions sort of mold and merge over time. You hear a lot about other people's opinions, and maybe initially you dismiss them because they're so violently opposed to yours. You got your own ego. You think you were right before. If you have an open mind, then you can be open-minded, and you should have a flexibility of thought. But I'm at the point now where I thought, like, I had too much respect for Ollie Skip's potential because he was one of our own. But I actually look now and I just don't think he's got he's not of the caliber to take us where we want to be. And so if there was an injury to Pape Sarr, I'm like, well, what would we do? And I don't really want to see Pierre-Emile Højbjerg come into the second 8. So I sit there and think, at the moment, what would you do? And I'd probably be more comfortable seeing Emerson Royale come into right back and see Pedro Porro play in the second 8. I genuinely think he would absolutely thrive. He could get back and help out Emerson defensively. He can get forward. He's got a finish on him. He can shoot. He's comfortable. He's confident. He's tenacious. He's a tackler. He's technically brilliant. I think this guy could fit into 4 or 5 positions in our squad. And that's a brilliant thing. Utility and versatility is a wonderful asset.
What about you, Paul? I want to throw this to you because you know Ange, and we've talked about it multiple times. I want to hear it straight from the horse's caboodle here. You and I have both said that Ange likes these players who can be versatile and pick up a role and essentially play in any position. That's kind of what he likes from a mentality standpoint. Do you see Pedro Porro, if say there is an injury somewhere that he's that kind of an athlete, do you see that he could fit in somewhere, anywhere in Ange's system, or is that an outlandish claim?
I think we've got a few players that, we can switch around. I think Porro is definitely one of them. Kulu could come back into midfield. Maybe we might even see, Skip or Højbjerg at centre half if one of them gets injured. I don't know, but
this is what I've said about Højbjerg. You did you mention, was it you first, Paul, that said could Højbjerg be the guy in between the 2 center backs and Eric Dyer?
Quite a while ago, but I was just looking for something to talk about, so I had, I was just pulling on that one. But
I wasn't expecting serious analysis.
No,
I was just throwing
but
things at the wall.
Even like you can see the way we're playing. Even like the players have their positions, but they're popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Van der Ven scoring a classy goal. What are these players doing? So they're already showing they're versatile by what they're doing right now. I mean, if you swap them around, I don't know if it would make much difference, to be honest.
Yeah,
have you guys seen about this guy, Vermeeren? Arthur Vermeeren from I put a video out about him about a couple of hours ago. We're linked with him. Arsenal are linked.
Well, then the only thing I'll know about him is after I watch your video, Sean. That's where I get all my info on these players from.
Mate, this guy, I didn't know. I heard his name, but obviously he plays for Belgium. I'm not going to sit here and say, I've tracked this guy for years. He's only 18. But when I see a link in a news article, I go and do a few hours and check out all the tape and stuff and form an opinion. And the guy looks incredibly advanced. And you could get him from Antwerp for 15 million, slot him in on the bench. He could play back up to Bissouma, and he could come in and compete with Sarr and Bentancur and play in the second 8. This kid looks like the real deal, and I love the fact that Tottenham are being linked with these kids. I love the fact, and it's not like his stats are not like there was
the guy Antonio Nusa, just to add to your Nusa. I didn't know who he was before they announced him, but then I started watching him, and then he came on, got an assist like that.
Incredible! That kid's going to be incredible.
18 years old.
I don't know. I think his number is going to be 50 million quid. But either way, I just love the fact now that whenever Tottenham are linked, whenever there's a player that's emerging that's 17 or 18 that's hitting the stats. Like last season, I was sitting there going, are these players that Tottenham are linked with? Is this the data? Is this the data science model that we're doing? But then you kind of go, well, why are we linked with him? It's because the striker has scored 12 goals in 8 games. I'm like, you don't really need a data-based model to bring your attention to a guy who's scoring 1.5 goals a game. Everybody's going to hear about that if you just look at the the goal scoring ratios. Right, it's not that impressive. But this kid Vermeeren, he doesn't fly over the radar because he's scoring goals or anything. But if you just look at his stats, he's just like 85th percentile for basically everything, for long passes, short passes, for dribbles, progressive carries, tackles, interceptions. He's just like bang on the money where you want to be. for absolutely everything, and the kid's 18 years old, and then you go and watch him on Y Scout, and you go and you zoom in on the things that you'd like a number 6 to be, and you see this guy whose anticipation is brilliant. And if he's only 15 million quid, I'd love it if Tottenham were to go and get another one of those.
I'm all for this model. Yeah. I'm the same with you, because you know that I like to look. Sean, Paul, I think you both know me well enough to know that I like to go and find these little gems in other countries and other leagues that I think could be something. In January,
you were first on Van de Ven, mate.
That's what I'm saying. The real ones know that I've been singing Mickey Van de Ven's numbers since before that viral video of him going a 100-yard sprint. But regardless, big up Moss Chops with the $5.99 first chat I think I've ever seen from Moss Chops, and they made it a super chat. So big up yourself right now. Says it's the Ange way. A center back can end up as striker if they find the space. Also, I want to say big up to, there's over 105 of y'all in the house right now. Smash up that like if you don't mind. But again, it is a free world, so you can do as you please. Don't hit the like. Don't support the channel in a free manner, which helps us grow. But if you're like me and you love spreading love and you're here for the immaculate vibes, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and that's what you'll continue to receive. Costs you absolutely nothing.
I'm dabbling in my current videos. I'm dabbling with hit the like button, but only if you enjoy the content. Right? And I'm seeing how that works. I don't want these freebie likes. I want to earn your thumb. But next week, I'm going to turn around and say, I want you to make a decision. I want you to either like the video, but only if you do. And if you don't, I want you to thumbs down it. That's where I'm going to move. I'm really going to put the gauntlet out on people that watch my content.
I did that, but then I was getting a couple.
The option to hit the down like button.
I did that. I did that for about a week. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to promote anything negative. That's just how the vibes are here. They're always going to be immaculate, and even if it's Eric Dyer, I'll find a way to make it immaculate. So
he might be going.
He not might be. I'm flying there. I'm packing his bags. I'm dragging his ass out of there.
No way is Mourinho gonna take on.
I pray. Hey, if Mourinho's a man of his word, he said he could be one of the best center backs in the league. When he was here, I thought he was just gassing up the idiot, but I don't know. But still, over 100 of y'all in the house. I appreciate that. And a big up Moss Chops for your first chat, I believe. And you also made it a super chat, so big up. I do appreciate that. And hello to everyone in the chat as well. I will keep rolling through the comments. I will see you. If you want to do the free thing, I do promote this as well. You don't have to super chat. This is above and beyond the Call of Booty. Again, the Call of Booty is just hit that like, participate in the poll, and hit it and chat with us if you want. And if you want a question to be asked at the end, hit a Q and a dash. I'll see it, and I'll treat it like a super chat. It's free. Cost you nothing. Again, don't ask. I'm not asking for the money here. I'm just asking for the love and support. And y'all do it every week, every single stream that I have. Even the Argentina watch along that I did, y'all did that. Y'all still showed some love.
If you're watching the stream afterwards, put a comment in. Put loads of comments in, because Jacob will painstakingly spend all his hours replying to every single comment.
And while you're at it, go subscribe to the Hotspur Hippie. It's in the title. And after you subscribe, go to any video and comment, and you will never receive a reply. You'll get a heart, but you will not receive a reply. And we are here on an hour, by the way.
You get the thumbs up and the love heart. And
that's what it is. That's all you get, huh?
Paul's game is like, listen, I'm not gonna beg for likes. I want you to like, and if you don't like, I won't forget it. But I don't. I'm never gonna be the guy who asks for likes or anything else. I get the way I
treat the likes. I treat the likes like this. You have a choice, and you made a choice to be here with United Spurs of America. That's your first choice. Now, you have a second choice when you're here. You can hit the like, or you could do nothing. You could hit the dislike. You can just observe. And it's a free world. It's a free universe. You are a free human to do as you so please. Just like Spurs Psych with the third super chat of the day. Big up Spurs Psych. Having a late shift there in the UK, I believe, and we are helping them get through the evening.
I forgot to ask Jacob, what percentage of me and Sean on your super chats on this stream? Was it usual arrangement? 30?
Yeah, the old 11%. Yeah, that's the percentage. The big up Spurs Psych for the super chat. Says great combo tonight, having a much needed laughs. That's how we do it. Little football chat, little humor, and a lot of love. That's the only way to move. But big up David Shear as well, gifting a membership. One lucky member in the chat has received a free membership, and it is DZ, capital D lowercase z, congratulations and welcome to the family. So big up David Shear, going above and beyond the Call of Booty yet again. That's what I love to see. But again, you can just hit the chat. I will see it. I'm going to find where I was before I went to the super chat. It was with Lee Smithy, says big up, and good morning to Rin as well down there in Australia. So hope everyone's doing well. But you're talking about Arthur Vermeeren, and Callum Roche says talk on Arthur Vermeeren. Where does he play?
He's a 6/8 for
no, like the country.
Antwerp in Belgium.
Oh, so he out there with Toby Alderweireld right now. Okay, I like to see it. Bobby K says
he's being scouted by, apparently in his last game he got his first Belgium international cap this week, but he's got scouts from all the big boys. All the big boys are out watching him.
Speaking of first caps,
you hope that Toby's going to say, like, you know,
get on over there to Spurs. They'll take care of you good.
I reckon there's a lot of
I don't know him that well, but I spent about 3 hours today just flicking through on Y-Scout, looking at his... Because on Y-Scout, you can literally zone in and you go, I want to know what this guy's like at interceptions or at long balls or at tackles or whatever. And you can you click on a certain aspect of the guy's game, and then you just get like 100 different clips of him at every level, going back chronologically, just focusing on that particular aspect, one after another, 7-second, 8-second clips. And I did that for like 15 different attributes, and I was like, wow. Just like what I saw with the centre back that we're looking at with Galatasaray, Victor Nelson. I landed my opinion on Victor Nelson was landed on him thinking he's brilliant. I've never seen a better centre back at the ability of doing long balls, smashing long balls like Alderweireld used to do, getting the ball on the right hand side and just pinging them long 40 yards into the channel. This guy, usually you'll see someone who's very good at doing that stuff and he'll hit like 3 out of 5, 4 out of 6, whatever. This guy, you had to like go to like 30 deep in his most recent attempts at long balls to find one that didn't meet its target. But the guy had other, like, he was, you know, he had mistakes in him in other areas of his game. But this guy, Vermeeren, I don't know. To me, he looks like the perfect 6 for what we're looking for, or the perfect 8. But at 18 years old, it suits Tottenham's model. You spend 15 million quid now. I gave it double thumbs up. That's why I did this.
Yeah, I like it. Double thumbs up. Not clickbait at all. I like it. Because, you know, it is hard during these international breaks. Sean, you weren't here earlier. I just wanted to let you know this shirt, I'm only streaming on this channel in this shirt until Ange Ball has returned. I'm treating it like a lover's sweater. Like,
have you got you're about to launch a merch store, aren't you? It's coming next week.
This isn't mine. This was digital Spurs that I got this from. I'm not going to do any clothing brand. That's way too complicated. And plus, my life's complicated enough already. So I have no plans for merch.
I was thinking about starting them, but because I got this thing done, right? And it looks cool and stuff. And I was like, oh, you know, but this actual quality of this thing that I got from Amazon merch, like if you want to set up your store and merch, I was like, I'll try this as a sample. But if this feels like it's very comfortable, but it feels like the sort of thing that if you were in New York and you walked into a like a tourist shop on Times Square, that's the sort of quality of the jumper.
Oh.
Like it's not great. Like, you know, you would put it in the wash 3 or 4 times, it's going to be all bally and stuff.
Speaking of great quality, real quick, I just want to shamelessly plug in the description of this video. If you saw a couple of streams back, I was wearing a shirt that has all the USA Spurs supporters clubs logos. It has it all over in this really cool pattern.
I like that.
They have it in a hoodie, and the shirt's quality, like normally, like if you get a shirt, you're like, it could be great quality, it could not be. But this one, it's in the link. It's an Etsy, West Coast Cacarel. They're a fan of the channel. They sent me a shirt. I love the fabric of the shirt. I can only imagine the hoodie. If you know Richard Cracknell, aka Crackers, Last Word on Spurs, he sent him a hoodie, and he absolutely loves it. I think the quality is outstanding, and it's a great logo as well. He just did one for all the Irish supporters clubs as well. He made a hoodie for them. So shout out Limerick Spurs and all them, but they got that done. So go check it out. It's a link. It is in the description of this video. I told him, hey, I'll put the link out there. Maybe some people will buy it. I need to wash my clothes, but unfortunately, I'm not going to wear it on this channel again until ANGE POSTECOGLOU ball has returned. It's a little bit of a protest. Sean, what do you think of my form of protest to this international break? Because we have another one in a month as well.
Oh,
What's your protest?
I'm wearing this shirt. Now I'm only going to wear the ANGE ball shirt until ANGE returns, like a lover who's gone to war, and I'm waiting for him to return, and I'm just smelling the things that he used to once wear.
You want me to give my honest opinion on your
Yes, I
version of
do.
a protest?
I want your honest opinion on that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give it a...
Not a rating. I want your opinion.
Oh, that's even more complicated.
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate for the level of protest in which you are representing. If you were trying to protest something that was meaningful and life-changing to those that were on the receiving end of whatever it is that you're unhappy with.
Some might say it's life-changing. ANGE ball's life-changing. Some might say. Just want to...
Yeah, and to those people, a picture of a kangaroo on a t-shirt is meaningful, and I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna land on a. I'm gonna land on like an average. I am gonna give you my rating. I know you don't want a rating. I'm gonna land on it and say it's a flat 5 out of 10. It's fine. Fabulous 5 out of 10. It's fine. You know? Okay. Not great. It's not too shabby either. You know, well done.
You know,
I just admire the fact that you put up a fight. You know, because for me, I just all I did was turn my attention to more shameless clickbait videos. Yeah, that's my.
I'm trying to take down FIFA one t-shirt at a time.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really trying to dismantle the whole thing.
When I'm doing my videos, and I think, all right, and then I look at the timer and it says 2 minutes 37 seconds, and I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, I've got another fucking 6 minutes to go, and I've got nothing.
I see that Paul's figured out that 8 minutes is the period in which you can put mid-roll advertising onto the video.
Yeah. Got a question here from Yosarian. Good morning, Yosarian. Says, question: when ANGE wins the league, I had to be at
7,000 subscribers before I realized that little gem. Well done, Paul. You're early, man. You're early.
Wait, what was the trick? I missed the trick.
You do a video over 8 minutes. You get
over 8 minutes. Every video. So that's why you see people dragging stuff out with a lot of like pauses and and ahs, and then you add like your entrance. That's why it takes me a minute and a half to get through. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. This is how Bugsy's doing. This is how I'm doing. You know, make sure you smash the like, but only if I take like 90 seconds up, chewing up time, because I know that my story isn't worth 8 minutes, and 8 minutes is when you can add the marketing mid rolls.
Well, what I will tell you here on United Spurs of America, you will never get that intricate of a plan against the YouTube algorithm. All I'm going to say is hit a like or don't. That's my fight against the algorithm. I may do like all caps in the title just to emphasize or yell at my audience, but other than that, I did once do a video and I put breaking at the beginning of it just to make it, you know, in the spirit of things, and it performed very well. And I was like, maybe I need to be shameless with the titles here, but I don't think the content's shameless enough. I don't know. Maybe I need to be a little more. But Yosarian has a great question here. How will the naysayers justify their perspective when ANGE wins the league? Paul, I'll start with you.
Well, I like the attack of the question, because it's going to happen sooner or later.
No, if it's win, baby.
It's win. I mean, if you're talking about non-Spurs fans, they're always going to whinge and moan about something. You're talking about Tottenham fans. I'd imagine that even the most negative, poo-pooing Spurs fan might actually be happy if we win the Premier League. And you know, why wouldn't you be happy with that? I can't see anyone being unhappy. So it's just a matter of when, you know, and how you feel in the meantime. Like, I'm happy. I'm enjoying every minute of Tottenham. It's fun. I think we've got a chance. We're in a title race. It might go all wrong next week, and then I'll feel bad next week. But I might as well feel good now because it could keep going. I don't want to win the title in May and then realise I've wasted my whole bloody year whinging about, what if Van der Ven gets injured, I want to enjoy all of it as it's unfolding in front of us.
It's about the journey, not the...
Yeah. That's right, man.
But the journey would be this much sweeter if we happen to beat Liverpool and Arsenal on goal difference or on 1 point. So they'll spend the entire summer crying about the refereeing decisions in
Brilliant. I love it.
I'm here for those tears. Those tears are the saltiest tears. I'll be dehydrated from the amount of pints of tears I'm drinking. Glug, 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 glug. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Tottenham to win the league by a single solitary goal.
That'll be absolutely hilarious.
Just the same goal difference. We just scored more goals. That'll do. The narrowest.
The narrowest the margin, the better, Paul. That's exactly what we want. That's the saltiest tears you're ever going to drink. And it's going to be.
And we only get it on the last day of the season by beating Sheffield United 6-0, sending them back to the toilet as well.
That makes me think of the argument that I've been hearing. I went on a stream. They were saying Spurs are the imposter out of all of us. And I said, hang on. I think Arsenal are the imposters out of this little title race going on because they are 6 years into their project and they can't even get 3 points at home versus a club that is 6 weeks into their project. Like, tell me who's the imposter?
You see, there's someone's written a book. It's something like Arteta and the Rise of Arsenal. I'm thinking, maybe.
I hope at the very beginning they have little dog prints. I hope the dog, his little prints are in the front of the book, and they say this was signed by Win the dog. We didn't win the league, but the dog was here for the second place trophy.
You guys might not know this reference, but Mikel Arteta has better PR than Gemma Collins in The Sun. I don't know if you know who Gemma Collins is, but she's this like B-Tech celebrity who's famous from like reality TV, who is clearly paying The Sun every single day. She's I won't even get into the specifics. But anyway, this woman is like, for me, I'm looking at this guy. How has she made the money she's made? How has she got the fame that she's got? Well, what it is. Good luck to her. But she's got such wonderful PR. And Mikel Arteta I do not understand. I don't get it. Why is this guy spoken of like he is some absolute Midas touch of tactical genius when it comes to football? What has he done? It's his first gig. He's 4 years in. He's done nothing. He won an FA Cup 6 months in, which you could attribute to the squad that was built with the previous manager, Unai Emery, right? And then since then, big up Bobs. Since then, he's done nothing other than build a team that bottled a Champions League race and then build another team on the back of £700 million worth of someone else's money to bottle a title race. The guy has done absolutely nothing, and yet everyone talks about him like he's some genius because he plays You'll Never Walk Alone on the training ground. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, and people
it's fantastic.
It's fantastic, Bobby. It's fantastic.
Extend his contract, keep him for life.
Failure. The geezer's an abject failure, and yet people have the audacity. I was on channels this week, Arsenal channels. I love them to pieces. But the narrative was, is Ange Postecoglou as good a manager as Arteta? And I'm like, on what grounding are you possibly phrasing that question that way? Is Arteta as good a manager as Sam Allardyce? Is he as good a manager as David Moyes? Maybe then you got an argument. But against Ange Postecoglou, that's won everything that he's ever been asked to win. You can't fault a guy. You can't criticize a manager who hasn't had the opportunity to win or not win something that he hasn't had the opportunity to compete in. Yet Arteta has failed on every meaningful metric that has been asked of him, and yet he is represented and presented to the world as this tactical masterclass. He's embarrassing. He plays Thomas Partey at right back, for God's sake. What's he done to get this nonsense PR machine working for him? I find it hilarious, and I'm all for it. The longer that Arteta stays at Arsenal, the happier I am, because the geezer is a loser. He's a loser that is living out of the shadow of his former boss, Pep Guardiola, and he's never going to have the stones to match what Guardiola's done ever in a million years.
Well, he got a dog, and I think that's a good step.
I just like the thought of Sean walking around in the morning, every morning to the news agent, picking up this copy of The Sun. Oh, it's bloody Gemma Collins again. Oh, this newspaper's gone downhill. Not what it was.
100%. If you don't know who Gemma Collins is, Google her.
I'm afraid to. That sounds like a name.
DM and let me know what you think about her.
I'm a little afraid to Google that name. It sounds like one of those. But let's welcome Bobby to the show. Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
What's cracking, my man?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? Hello, chat. Happy Saturday night, man.
Big up Mountain Bush, man.
Everything good? Everybody's all right?
Yeah, everything good. Enjoying immaculate vibes on a Saturday.
Look up, boys. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Look up quickly. You see that? Oh, that's nice, eh? Tottenham at the top of the table.
I was saying, why are you looking up? Because there's no one above us, and there's no reason to look up. We have to look down. We look to our left, there's nobody. We look to our right, there's nobody. Yeah, we have to look down. That's what I'm saying. You're saying look up. Hey, ain't nothing but blue skies up there.
Exactly.
But the view's immaculate from here.
Baby, it's beautiful.
Bobby, are you saying we're in a title race?
You know what? It's so funny, Jacob. How much is this question going to be asked now? At the end of the day, the only way I can answer it right now, in reality, who's at the top of the table? Okay, so arguably the top 4 teams are normally the ones that are in the title race. We're the top team, so right now we are in a title race. Talk to me 30 games from now, we might be having a different conversation. But if you're asking me right now, are we in title race? Yes. We're first.
Well, 30 games from now, it'd be over. And
I don't understand how it's even a conversation. It baffles me, Jacob. And you know me, I don't profess to be one of the, especially with these two guys sitting beside me here in terms of football knowledge. I'm a weak link. But the basics, the facts are, we're there, right there. We're not in the title race. Technically, we are leading the title race right now.
Setting the pace.
So it's exactly, catch me if you can right now. I don't doubt. Yeah, we're going to have issues. We're going to fall off. We're going to have the fans lose it for a little bit if we have a few bad games. But right now, man, live it up. This is fantastic. This is so refreshing from the shit we've been fed for 3 years. Sean, you get to go there and see it, man. You get to see good football after so long, after so much. Just like, we're watching it through TV and depressed. I can't imagine how you feel being there, spending your money on the ticket, spending money on a couple of pints, food, whatever, transport,
a couple of pints,
but I'm just, whatever. Just
how
even the
dare
general
you,
guy,
Sean? How dare you?
I didn't want to say, Sean. Okay, there's Sean. Having 14 pints, and then it's half.
No, how dare you, Sean?
I didn't want to,
Bobby, Sean, you give money to the club you support? Is that what you're saying?
No, I am funding the future purchase of Arta Vermeeren.
Let's go.
When he crunches that tackle, every time he crunches that tackle next season, I'm going to say that tackle was partially.
I invested in that.
You're welcome, guys.
That's my investment. That's my investment. But I'm saying, I can't imagine how Sean would have felt sitting there, watching that, and then that's the vibe around you too.
Honestly, the greatest 2 5-minute periods I've had in my life. Genuinely mean this, and it might be a really sad indictment of my life at the moment. But the party after the Man United result, the first home game of the season, when we were doing la 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 in the South Stand, that was unbelievable. I stand by myself. I've got my own season ticket. I've got no one around me that knows that I know. But I'm just sitting there hugging people. People are jumping on my back and stuff. We're all just partying. And then the only thing that was better than that, because we actually deserved it against Man United, against Liverpool, scoring the goal in the last minute against Liverpool, that song, that went on loop. It went on loop for about 15 minutes to the point where I was tired from dancing like it was New Year's Eve when I was 18. It was the greatest little moments in your life that you never. And I'm lucky enough that I got them on camera. So every time I go onto my channel, when I see that short with me, I think Smithy. I saw him in the chat a minute ago. Smithy.
Lee Smithy Smith.
Lee Smithy Smith. He walked down like 4 rows. He was 4 or 5 rows ahead of me, above me in the south stand, and he climbed down 4 or 5 rows and stood next to me. And I got it on the camera, and it's had like 25,000 views or whatever on my channel of me and him dancing, and I will never forget that moment. It was brilliant. So Smithy, if you're still in the background, mate, shout out to you, bro. That was one of those moments that you're just like, it's going to live with you for a long time. So Bobby, yeah, man, it's been awesome this season.
But Sean, they're going to tell you it's just 8 games. Sean, they're going to tell you it's just 8 games. Real quick, I do want to say, still over 100 of y'all. We are 8 likes away from 100 likes. If you can, go ahead and hit that like. Or if you don't want to, then don't. It's all up to you. 90 votes, and we're still at 90% saying that Son and Ainge deserved the man of the match and manager and player of the month awards, respectively. So big up
they were voted for. They deserved it.
The last subject that I want to cover here, and it could be a little dicey, a little testy, and I'm not talking testicular. All right, I think I wouldn't trade our center back pairing for any center back pairing in the Premier League, maybe even the world. The world may be a stretch because I don't watch enough of the top to say, yes, I think that Romero and but from what I've seen, I've thoroughly enjoyed and I thoroughly respect the amount of work, and the statistics will back it up and prove. And then rival fans will have this, that, and the other they want to bring up in regards to those stats. But I want to just open the table with that discussion is I would not change our center back pairing, Romero and Van de Ven, for anybody's in the league. And I want to throw this. Is there anybody here that would, and why, and who?
The only arguable ones I can think of is what Diaz and Stones, right? Just because how well they've already played together and they've got it done, and but really look at them, they've conceded a few goals too, and they conceded quite a few goals last year as well. It's arguable, isn't it, Jacob? But right now, for what I'm seeing on the pitch and the way they play together and what they both offer, I wouldn't swap them for anybody, and that's a little bit of bias as well, but I just love Van de Ven. I've been, you went on about it from the beginning, Jacob, and I'm on the bandwagon now with you. I'm at the back pushing full speed, baby.
Bro, I've been pushing Romero prop for you.
Absolutely loving this kid. Love this kid. Love everything about him. I don't give a shit that he got 2 own goals. I know that's Sean was talking about that's affected some number to do with some sort of a stat or something, but
y'all aren't counting the goal against Brentford, right? Because that wasn't an own goal.
It didn't count as an own goal?
No. It is an Mbeumo goal, and that is official. So he's only scored 1 own goal to my knowledge.
Yeah. But regardless, he scored those own goals because he was trying to stop the ball and he was actually in the way, not because he did something stupid and he kicked his leg out or something. Like, you look at Romero's own goal. That was his fault, what he did and everything like that, the way he hit the ball, and that's down to what he did, his body action. But Van de Ven's, I don't fault him for the 2 mistakes he made at all. They were just, he went to make a move and it kind of just went off of the back of his heel. The first one, I think, with Brentford, he went down or something and it went off the back of his foot, if I recall. Sean, you'll know, man. You recall every bloody thing. I just love this.
Say that again.
The first goal, the Brentford one, the one that Jacob is saying now that it was credited to their player, but
they gave him Mbeumo that own goal.
He hit Van de Ven's foot on the way through. Yeah,
but they didn't give him the own goal. That was one of the own goals that I think everyone says.
Yeah, but it wasn't an own goal to Van de Ven, but it technically, if it hadn't hit his foot, then it was still on target. So it's not an own goal, but if it hadn't hit his foot, then Vicario would have got the goal. He would have saved
it. Yeah, but regardless, I'm just saying that even with those 2 big mistakes, if somebody want to call them that, I don't care. This kid has been just exactly everything we've needed.
Insane, mate. He was insane last night for Holland as well. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I love that clip that was going viral around where he basically stopped France from going up a goal at that point that he came on, and he had his debut for the Netherlands. So big up Mickey Van de Ven for that, absolutely.
And he's so good looking. I'd turn for him. I genuinely think I would. If he wore a Tottenham shirt, I
think Paul got a phone call there, or Sean saying he will flip over like a pancake for that man. I don't blame you. He's got a great jawline, and you can't For a young man, he looks fully grown. Yeah,
he's incredibly good looking. He really is.
Yeah.
This is awkward. I don't appreciate these conversations in this sexual manner.
Look,
yeah, he's fucking fit.
One love, bro. One love.
One love. Yeah.
Fucking
love
fit,
who you love.
Sean. Isn't that what you guys say? He's fit, man.
Well, technically, he has to be fit. He's a professional athlete. That's my. But Sean,
don't cut out technical, Jake.
Is there a better center back pairing in the Premier League than Mickey Van de Ven and Christian Romero right now?
Statistically, no.
Is there a pairing that you would take over Mickey Van de Ven and Christian Romero right now?
Right now, based on this season's form, no, I'm happy with what we've got. But if you were to, no, you know what? I'm not even going to complicate the argument. No, I wouldn't. I think these two are the best statistically, and I'm in love with them. Like, I think they're brilliant. I want to see. I think that I'm genuinely I'm open-minded to the argument, but Romero's transformation has been remarkable. Playing with a better player, getting the leadership responsibilities, getting the World Cup out of the way. Is it because he's a World Cup winner? Is it because he's a vice captain? Is it because he is a player that now has someone quality behind him who can do something that he can't do? His mate can get back. Like, I don't know what it is that has been the rationale.
Let me tell you what it is, Sean. I'll answer that for you. You said, I don't know what it is. It could be any of those things. It could be an accumulation of all the above. What I will say is he's always been that guy. It's just people made their minds up last season what they saw. And I've said this all along. I've said this all along, but I always got shattered on week in and week out saying, oh, well, if Christian Romero's as good of a player as you think he is, then he should be able to rise up and you should be able to see him rise up. And in front. What I said is he was trying to rise up. Those rash decisions that they blamed him for, that was his... Look, you can only perform so well before you have to be able to trust the person to your left and to your right and behind you. And
then you can make the same argument for every poor player in the Premier League and say that, oh, if only they had someone better next to them, they become twice the man. I think that you have to take
in a defensive system. Yeah, you have to have a teammate next to you.
Romero was terrible. He wasn't. He had one eye on the World Cup.
He wasn't terrible, and he did not have one eye on the World Cup, and that is a misrepresentation. I loathe the opinion that people think. Okay, well, if you let me finish, what I'm saying is the opinion that he had of him and his view on Argentina has been debunked. It has been absolutely debunked. Yes, it is by him, by multiple people. It has.
Who? By whom? Who's debunked?
By him himself, because if he cared more. By what happened and by him, it was proven by the course of events and by what he has said. It has been proven. What?
That's not an argument. By him himself and by him, that's not an argument.
I said by him and by what he has said. Again, you're talking over me. So if you let me finish, like I say to all rivals, you let me finish, everything's a lot more fucking clear with what I gotta say. So again, the point of Christian Romero that this false narrative that he cared more about Argentina in the World Cup is completely incorrect. It is absolutely incorrect. Because people said, oh, he just wanted to be fit for the Argentina. The first warm-up game, he did not even play. The second one, he came on as a sub. That doesn't mean, okay, here we go. Just whatever. What's your opinion? Is there anyone better in the Premier League than Romero and Van de Ven then?
I'm in love.
Hold on, Paul's trying to say something.
I think Romero's always been good. I don't know what the issue was with him last year, what people had, but I would look at him thinking he's still our best defender. He's still great. He can play football.
There's a very good point that, Paul, if you look over,
so I'm not surprised.
Nick just put up a really good point, too. He had that beef with Conte going on, too, right? Yeah. So that might have affected his play with the team.
Oh, well, there you go. So there's a reason. So there's a reason. So it wasn't just that he was brilliant and then completely committed. Listen, this season is this season. He's been brilliant this season, and I'm delighted for it. The season before last, he was excellent when he was fit. He had long-term injuries, but everyone was calling him a Rolls Royce. Last season, he was nowhere near the player that we saw the year before. This season, he's come back. This season's form does not excuse last season. And Jacob, you saying it's been completely debunked, and not me saying why and how, and you say because of the words that came out of his mouth
and his actions. I said what he said.
Murder saying I'm innocent. Oh, okay. Let's just believe.
I said his words and actions. What transpired around the World Cup absolutely debunked that. And I said that at the time, and I say it again. And again, it's a false narrative about him.
He was never there before the World Cup. It wasn't just him. There were loads of players. There were loads of players across the world football who had a mysterious injury weeks before the World Cup, who weren't going in for 50-50s because they didn't want to pick up an injury. It's understandable.
He did.
It's understandable. He went into 50-50s. When
I'm not talking about other players. I'm talking about Romero. He went into 50-50s.
When the governing body of football decides to put a World Cup smack bang in the middle of a season, there's going to be collateral damage. There is. I'm not saying that it's not understandable. It is. But the fact of the matter is, to me and to many, many others, there was a significant and obvious drop-off in not just his availability, but his abilities during that
those are all rumors, and I think they were debunked. Same things people said about Sonny, that this, that, and the other. Again, all debunked. They have been.
Haven't been debunked in any way, shape, or form, apart from the fact that you.
We're also talking about a player.
All right, agree to disagree. They've been debunked.
Jacob, at the end of the day, we're talking about a player that was his first year, as well. So they're not seeing it get better.
He was the season before that.
But I'm talking about like first year settled in and playing and friggin' the first year he didn't play as much. How many games did he get?
Oh, he was here the whole season the year before, but he got injured for 2 months.
That's what I'm saying. It was a long time. He was out.
2 months he was injured. 2 months he was injured. But yeah,
people told me, people said that season as well. I think again, people's represent
the second season was terrible. Why? What's the problem with accepting the fact that his second season?
There's not a problem with it, but when you spread false narratives, I think that I have a duty to stand up and say that I think you're wrong, and I think it's been debunked by factual information and things that he said. So whether you agree with me or not, I don't really care.
Debunking it. Come on,
because
Jacob.
You're saying he cared more about this than he did about that. You're telling me you know Romero's thoughts, and that's just not fucking true, Sean. No one knows. All we can do is judge based on what we saw, and what we saw and what he said. Again, if you just listen, Sean, you talk, you don't let me finish, and then that's why you don't understand my full point.
Well, I do understand your opinion, but him coming out and saying this idea that I didn't play is nonsense. That's like a murderer coming out and saying this idea that I intended to kill him is nonsense. Like, just because he says something doesn't make it true, and it doesn't debunk any theory either way. It's an opinion one way or the other. Jacob, come on, bro.
It's not an opinion. It's factual information. Facts is not delve into opinions like
factual information.
It is factual information. It is. He was injured, and people say, "Oh, he was injured." There's these mystery injuries. The dude was injured, and you said people that were around the World Cup time didn't go in for 50-50s. He did, and everyone bashed him for it. So what's your point? I'm debunking what you're saying right now.
You're not debunking anything. You're just telling me you disagree, and that's okay. But you're not debunking anything.
Well, I mean, I'm proving you wrong. So if that's what's the definition of debunk?
Debunk is proving an accusation incorrect, which you haven't done in any way, shape, or form.
Wow, I would have got that wrong. Sorry, because debunk is what the kids sleep on upstairs. I thought that's what bunk beds were. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Good thing y'all didn't ask me that one.
You're too protective of the players you love. You do the same thing with Sonny, mate.
Yeah, and you were wrong last year about Son as well.
No, I wasn't. Sonny was terrible.
Yeah, you were. You were wrong about Son last year. You were wrong about Romero last year. Again, it's okay to get things wrong.
Hi, bro. You were terribly wrong about Sonny, and you're terribly wrong about Romero last season. This season, Sonny's cool. It's okay to have flexibility of thought. You haven't got to land on an opinion. And
I'm just saying, bro.
I'm just saying. I had a bad year 1 year. Sonny was bad last year. No one knew he was playing injured. He suddenly came out and said he had a hernia after the season finished. We don't know the. I'm guessing that for you would be the rationale to say, well, that defends his bad performances, but nobody knows why was he playing injured. Why was he playing? But that doesn't matter to you because you don't want anyone to say anything bad about Sonny's performance last year. So Sonny coming out and saying, I was playing injured, that excuses
that's wrong.
any...
Again, that's wrong. You're telling me what I want. That's not what I want. You tell people what they want. Romero wanted this. Jacob wants that. Bro, you don't know. You're just assuming, right?
Neither do you, though. Neither do you.
I'm going by what was done and what happened that I can speak on. That's what I'm basing all of this on. You're basing it upon his emotions and his motives and what drives him. That is an assumption.
Did Sonny have a good year last year?
No.
Okay, so what's the problem?
But he's not a shit player.
Dude.
Who said he was a shit player?
Only Kane had a good season last year. Everybody else had
Who said he's a shit player? I never said he's a shit player.
You know what excites me about the international break? Changing the subject.
No, my wife texted me. My son's waking up, so I have to text her back real quick.
You know, this is something that's excited me about the international break, right? We've got basically our whole team is off talking to the best players in the world about how bloody great Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou are at the moment. Did you see Jack Grealish coming out and kiss our ass, saying, they're on fire? So I think...
disclaimer, I'm not mad at anything, by the way. Sean and I are just having a discussion. Like, no one's mad. I'm not mad at Sean for being wrong about me debunking him or him. I don't think, Sean, you're mad at me about me saying that I debunked you.
I am mad at you for thinking that you've debunked me, because you haven't.
I'm going to go to sleep tonight. I'm going to cuddle up with my
Paul, I think
I debunked Sean. Someone finally
youngsters out.
I love
Come
you
on,
all.
boys. Kids, you settle down now. Kids, settle down. Jacob, say sorry for Sean being wrong. Jacob, say sorry for Sean being wrong.
Sean, you got to go.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to go.
You got anything tomorrow for the people to watch, or just the Vermeer video? Arthur Vermeer, Vermin. What's his name?
Vermeer. But that's already out. There's going to be a video tomorrow about Qatar, and there'll be something else. If I can scrape together from the bottom of the barrel some sort of really lucidly tangential.
You can find something. I trust in you. You'll find something.
You know what I do, Paul? I'll find a way to make it 8 minutes and 3 seconds. You know why, bro?
That's it, man. Oh, look at that car. That brings me back to the days of my first car. 6 minutes 30. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Today's. I was watching Today's, and you said, you're like, look at those people running very healthy. I hope you're doing things that make you feel great. I was like, what a nice. That's a 10-second killer right there.
10 seconds. 100%.
Man, thank you for joining. Hey, I know we had a nice discussion, but just know I'm sleeping like a baby tonight knowing I debunked you.
In your stinky 5-day-old T-shirt.
You haven't debunked me. You've never debunked me. No one has ever beaten me in a debate in this community, and I love that. I've got a perfect 100% record on my ability to debate people, and it's a beautiful thing, and I love you all, but I got to go before you come back to you. See you soon. Ciao, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Take care. Spurs Talk Show. There he goes.
Smashing them. Yeah. Yeah. Forget.
Well,
he doesn't want to mention that, right?
So the final thing, I don't know, Paul. Did you answer? That was a whole bunch of kerfuffle. Did you answer? Is there a better center back duo right now than Romero and Van de Ven?
No, I haven't answered it, but the answer is no, there isn't.
Okay, great. I love that so much. There you go.
No, look, you know, the thing about like Van de Ven, his tackling is like something else, man. Like the way he runs in, and when he tackles, he goes to ground, but it's I can't figure out how he does it. It's like his legs dematerialize through the attacking player's legs. They rematerialize, get the ball, he's up on his feet, and he's off and running. Perfect timing.
Great. Yeah, he's so good. He's so good, Paul. Isn't he just so good to watch?
So good, Paul just dipped.
Yeah, I was going to say, he loves him so much, he's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go watch him on YouTube instead. Screw you guys.
Yeah, you got so excited.
Yeah,
he clicked new tab.
Yeah. Like, I'm out of here, man. I'm going to watch Van de Ven highlights, man.
Mr. 100% signing off. There he goes. Big shout out, Spurs Talk Show. Is he a mod here?
Oh, my God. Is he seriously? He's going to admit that he's got a 100% loss record with you?
I mean, the facts are the facts. Here, I'm going to make him a moderator so he can plug his own link if he wants to. There goes Sean. Have a good night. Get some rest. Paul's back. We were saying that you thought he was so damn nice that you clicked a new tab to watch his highlights. Is that what we just did?
Yeah. Is that what happened?
What?
You got so excited that you were talking about Van de Ven that you decided to leave us and go watch highlights of him instead?
Yeah, well, I was just going to watch watch a bit of Spurs Talk Show.
Big up Sean, love that he joined. I disagree with a lot of things he said last year, and that was my point.
Everybody's allowed their opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? The great part is we're arguing about shit from last year. We're like, they were shit last year. It's like, yes, we're all good this year. Let's just protect this thing here. But last year, it's international break. We're just trying to...
And that's it. And somebody just said that as well. I don't. I remember somebody bringing it up in the chat. They said it's international break. We need something to do, basically.
Yeah.
Fight each other.
Yeah. You never know the kind of conversation.
Right? So I got to watch Paul, right? Let him talk about cars and people walking by and if there's any kangaroos today or not.
I'm always trying to see if the
make you
Kangaroos
feel
are
good
back.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna have to stop watching Paul soon. I don't want to tell him though because it hurts my feelings. In about another probably 2 months for about a month, maybe a month and a half, because it's so nice and sunny over there, and we'll have shitty, cold, crappy snow and ice and all that stuff. So I'm gonna get jealous watching him in the sunshine.
Oh, we're going to have a blazingly, probably dangerous summer here with bushfires and shit. So yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
I just want to say there's still 100 of y'all chilling, hanging out. Make sure y'all hit that like. I will be ending the stream very shortly. My wife is texting me. I have to get it's almost dinner time, so I have to get dinner sorted. But I want to say one last thing. I can't remember what it was because I was looking at this picture, and this picture makes me
That's
really
the other
happy.
half of the sexy center back crew.
And then this picture, and I just have a slew of Romero pictures. I'm getting a Romero shirt. Shout out Ellie. She's hooking me up with some shirts, some Cuti Romero, and Van de Veen. I'm going Van de Veen and Romero. That's what I'm going with. So shout out.
Not a bad shout it out.
Yeah, not a bad shout. I want to give y'all a chance. Paul, do you have any final thoughts on just why we're the best and why the challenge is on? The title charge is on?
Here's a thought I had the other day, because it's our best start for a season since 1960, 61, I heard, or something like that. Whatever it is.
80 or something, yeah, whatever.
I think it's even better than that. Maybe another couple of games. But whatever it is, this is the best start that Tottenham have had to a season in my lifetime, probably. You know? So I'm gonna be as happy as shit and celebrate every moment on it and stretch it out. You know, times in previous years, I mean, since 1978 or something like that, I've been saying, oh, we're going to win the league this year. Like this year, we're as close to that happening as I've ever seen at this stage in the season. So I'm going to keep smiling. You know, whatever happens, happens.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I love that. Bobby K from Three Spurs Boys. I'm pulling up your link, so just make sure whatever you have to say before we sign off, you speak long enough for me to find your link, and I'm going to put it in the chat for everybody to.
Me talk too much, Jacob, won't be a problem.
I think you're saying
well, not too much because my wife will leave me if I leave her hanging. So yeah.
Sorry, what's that, Paul?
I think he's just saying, yeah, you can talk a bit, but don't go on too much, and he just confirmed.
Yeah, I know. That's what I wasn't sure with. I'm like, you're telling me. You can't tell me what to. You don't limit me. I'll blab on for as long as I bloody want. This is my zone, man. This is the only place I'm allowed to talk. I'm married with kids. You think I get to say shit up there? I don't get to say shit. I'm up there. You think anybody listen to me? No. For some reason, some crazy people here do. So I'm going to enjoy my time. Jacob said
he's going to start playing music.
So like this morning, I was watching this lovely couple walk by. I get my recorder out. It's even better. Oh, it's sad to hear. It's sad to hear. Yeah.
That one's fun. That was a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm like most people. I'm on board the ANGE train. I'm completely deluded. I've got Kuva as a partner, so it's kind of hard not to be that guy. The amount of optimism, him, guys like yourselves, you know, especially Paul, that pushes right through you and everything. Again, credit this man right here. He's the one that told me about ANGE in the first place. First place I heard it, first source, and he was 100% right on. Not only did you say he was going to come in and we'd love the football he's going to play, but we're going to love him, the man. We're going to love what he's saying. He's just that kind of guy that everything about him just oozes awesomeness. And you're right. Like there's nothing. I don't think any one of us, how much we agree or disagree as fans, that we can point out as a fault to the man right now.
Yeah.
You know, other than he made the mistake with the Fulham game. Okay, so he made a mistake. Is that, you know, we're not even supposed to be where we are.
I don't even think he made a mistake.
You know what I mean?
I don't even think Fulham was a mistake, Bobby.
Man United won the Carabao Cup last year. Where the fuck are they now?
There you go.
Shit.
Exactly. But, you know, right for us it stands. We're top of the table. I don't give a shit what people want to say. Oh, are you in a title challenge? Or, you know, we are the title challenge. We're leading the title challenge. So, yeah, we're a quarter of the way season in. Long may it continue. If it falls off, I'm honestly not going to be too disappointed. Even if, God forbid, we finish in like 6th or something, because I'm seeing way more progression already in 8 games. I'm so happy and breathing this fresh air around Tottenham now and what our club is, that it excites me for what the future holds. And at the end of the day, this is a project, and that project will hopefully bring us a lot in the future. But if we can get that future started right now, fucking bonus, man.
Yeah.
Bonus. And like Paul said, why not? This is the best start we've had in God knows how long. It's the best start I've ever seen in my lifetime as a fan. So this is the reason we should have that mad, diluted, hysteria that get behind the boys. They're going to do it. Every single one of them is putting a shift in now. They look like they want to play for
It's hard to even pick.
Even the subs come on and actually make an effort.
Yeah.
Like some of the subs he made a couple of games, I was quiet. Why is this guy? And then we end up winning the game. And Ange, I trust, baby. And Ange, I trust. Was that long enough?
Yeah, it was perfect. A little bit too long, even. But hey.
Oh, really?
No, just for my. Hey, Bobby, you stud. There's the link. I put them both in the chat. Bobby K, you can find them there at 3 Spurs Boys. Kids bringing content. Got some gaming content on the way. It sucks that we can't play together, but there's Paul's link as well for the Hotspur Hippie. It's in the title of the video, so you really can't miss it. I also want to say a special thank you to the 2 new subscribers to the channel who subscribed today. We are now 3 subs away from 2,690. So that means 13 subs away from 2,700.
Wow, dude, I am right on your heels. I'm only like 1,800 behind.
Well, I got to stay ahead of Paul because Paul said if he surpasses me in subs that he has officially used me as much as he can, and that at this point he has to move on. Yeah,
wow.
He said once
he's gonna big time you.
Yeah, so go subscribe to Paul.
I would like to on a smaller channel and waste my time. No chance.
Don't got time for
I know how YouTube works.
You know what,
you
Jacob?
Pull yourself out and get on bigger channels. That's how it all works.
Jacob, that explains why Paul never comes on my channel now.
You sold yourself.
Regardless of the fact that we got ridiculous times apart, to stream. But that's a poor excuse. Yeah, besides that, yeah.
But big up everybody.
Makes sense now. Yeah.
I appreciate
time zone and the fact that you're smaller, yes.
Yeah, there's contribute.
At least the guy, you can't say the guy lies, right? You can't say the guy lies.
Big up Horn Dog as well. It says evening all, just jumped on board. It's late here in the UK. Big up. We did have an hour and 45 minute of a show before you jumped on, so feel free to play that back and watch it. And all those of you on playback watching it until this point, I'm looking at you, Mia from Spurs Between the Lines, because that's usually the one person who gives me some feedback in the morning is Mia. So big up Mia with Spurs Between the Lines, and big up everybody in the chat. I will be redirecting on over to Flawless with Sarcasm City TV, the goat over there. So go ahead and just say USA Raid, hit a like, and then dip if you don't mind. Just know that, just help him show that we support him over here in Yosarian. Next debunking imminent. Ange made a mistake in the cup. Go. Bobby said, and maybe Ange made a mistake. And you see Paul and I. We were ready to bite your.
I don't take that shit. Don't be yelling at me, man. I come down there. I sort you out Texas. Make me come down there and get my southern accent on, boy.
Oh, here we go.
I got a ladder. I'll climb up there. I sort you out, young man.
That's as bad as my English accent, or as good, depending which way you look at it.
Yeah.
And go.
Farmers, where you come from, boy?
Yeah, you tell him, boy.
Well, before y'all keep making fun of my physical appearance and my hair and the preferences in which I choose to go, there's also the link for Spurs Talk Show. Big up to Sean for joining in the show as well. Big up Drula. Jim, I see you. Daniel Horton was here, and I hope you're doing well, sir. The farthest north Spurs fan that I know personally. And then also big up Daniel Horton, Alaska. He's out there in Alaska.
He's got me beat by a bit.
He's got you beat. Yeah.
All right. Don't have to get technical.
He's the furthest north I know of, unless there's a polar bear out there listening.
People making fun of your looks. They're the haters, man. Like I said.
Yeah, freaking haters. But big up Daniel Horton here for the super chat. Big up Moss Chops for the second super chat, and then Spurs Psych with the third super chat. And then David Shear just doing what he does, being a gifting son of a gun. And he came in and he gifted a membership to a lucky member. So big up for that. And I appreciate
he did like 10 last show or something too, didn't he?
He did like 10 last show, yeah. So absolutely blessing the chat. You never know. If you're here in the chat, you may get blessed with a membership because some of the fans of the channel are just that good of people. But big up everybody. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. I will try to be back tomorrow when my son takes a nap. So hit that notification bell if you want to figure out whenever that is. And we'll be live at some point, bringing you something at some point. But until then, go subscribe to these guys, hit a like on your way out. And then again, I'm sending you over to Flawless with Sarcasm City TV. Just say USA Raid, hit a like, and then dip. Or stay. I recommend staying. A lot of people I've sent over there have great reviews. So I love sending y'all to great places, and I would only send you there. But to anyone who is upset with us for being on top of the league and enjoying myself in the pool of number one. All I got to say to you is,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
we don't care, and that's going to do it here. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm enjoying the pool, and I'm splashing around, and I'm sorry if you get a little wet, but that just seems to happen here on the channel. But until then, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.